Let's take a look at Bitcoin. All right, here we have Bitcoin on daily with its little channel, as you can see, and an order block. With it, obviously, you got the trend line, but that's something we're going to talk about later. For this video, I just want to take a look at the metrics. So the first metric we're going to look at are numbers of addresses with balance greater than 100. So you can see from the history, the amount of Bitcoin addresses people had significantly went down, and the lower it went, so did the price. But here there was a little divergence here. But what I want to bring our attention to is this part right here. We can see that the amount of addresses that held Bitcoin more than 100 fell. I mean, it just plummeted here, and price went up. But then price quickly sprang back up, and now it's in this just static motion of going sideways. So that's one key particular thing that I have in mind. Second one is back to the addresses. So with balances over 1,000, you can see something happened here when it went stagnant. Price then shot up, went back down as prices went up, right? People that had more than 1,000 were taking profit. And then eventually, once price went back down, addresses with more than 1,000 Bitcoin began to go back up again. So you see, so somebody's accumulating. Somebody's accumulating. Then we come here to what my favorite metric really is the addresses with more than 10,000 Bitcoin. If we take a look that here we had a divergence. The price of Bitcoin was heading down lower towards the, I would say around, 30,000, 40,000 area, while the addresses were going up. So you see, addresses of more than 10,000 Bitcoin has significantly went up while the price has went down. So as price is heading down lower, addresses more than 10,000 are accumulating, which is good because this means that there's interest. Now that we know this, I want to take a look back at Bitcoin, because Bitcoin now is in this bearish flag. I'm sure you guys seen it in other videos or YouTube videos, maybe even just Twitter in general, that, oh, here's this bearish flag, and the next step after this would be to, come back down, retest it, and then head lower to the 20s, even maybe high 10s, 15s, thousands, just in this general area. So I think the necessary step here now is not to make any irrational decisions. Personally, not financial advice, of course, what I'm going to be doing is looking for something along the lines of this. Let me get my marker out. So as we're here, I'm sure we're going to retest this area, come back down, maybe into this order block, and then potentially just fake everybody out. I mean, just completely confuse everybody that's expecting Bitcoin to go to the 20s. I mean, right now the sentiment I was getting when we're here is, hey, we're about to go make new higher highs. I mean, we made a higher high here. Now we're gonna keep going up. I mean, right? Why not? That's pretty much the retail sentiment I'm getting. But I think we're just coming for this retest here. Let me take my trusty Fibonacci. And if we set it here, we might come down to the 618, 702, or the 786. And these three levels here, not financial advice, of course, is where I plan on taking profits, not only on Bitcoin, but also as altcoins. You see, the key significance here is not to be the last one holding. So, I mean, as of now, if we take a look at the metrics, Bitcoin whales are accumulating. And if we even look at this one right here that I forgot to show, actually, was the Bitcoins on exchanges is negative. I mean, essentially, people are taking Bitcoins off exchanges. I mean, this is a bullish sign for anybody that doesn't know, is because this means how are you supposed to sell if it's not on an exchange? I'm sure maybe, yes, you could swap Bitcoin, but are you going to swap Bitcoin into an altcoin hoping to preserve money? I mean, I think that's just something that's not even in my thinking right now. But this is a good sign. This is a really good sign along with these metrics here that I showed. So keep this short and sweet. Is we might be going down lower, but just to show that, hey, we might be going, not even to show, I shouldn't even say that. This is just to confuse. It's not going to be showing anything. It's going to be confusing those that think that, hey, maybe we could be going lower and this is time to sell when it goes back up, and it's going back up. Everybody will be thinking, hey, this is the time to buy. Of course, right? Retail buys up markets. Whales and institutions buy down markets. So to not get carried away, I feel like I'm already on a rant, but here this is just the lower time frame that I'm looking at. This is just the lower time frame that I'm looking at. Here we got an order block and a little impulse here. So we could essentially, drop back down low. What I was looking here is, hey, we might touch this order block here, mitigate it, and head back down lower, maybe even lower than this order block here, and retest the trend line that's part of this bearish flag. So that's one thing that I'm keeping in mind. The other one is, okay, let me go into slower time frames for this. What I was looking at, well, now it's a little less attractive, but what I was looking here is, hey, this was an M-ish pattern here, and as we were here, I was thinking, hey, maybe we break this level here. If we break it, we retest it, and then here I could get in a trade and possibly, exit here. A short-term trade, obviously. This is just to practice my trading. This should never be anybody's first go-to, especially in an indecisive market like this. I mean, I just personally, this is just kind of stay out of trading markets. But this is what I'm just looking at. Obviously, this is just from my perspective with what's going on. So something like this along the lines, and after that, I mean, it just really depends. It really depends. But most of my trading will be going on once we get in this order block here. So, but that's essentially all I really wanted to say. So, without further ado,